The Good Life has captivated millions of viewers with its warm, humorous, and profound story about friendship, love, and the desire to live simply. However, behind the scenes, there are tragedies that shock fans. Some people quietly leave in pain. Others carry secrets that will never be revealed. Today, let's explore those heartbreaking stories. Paul Eddington as Jerry Ledbetter. Paul Clark Eddington was born on June 18, 1927, in St. John's Wood, London, England. At the age of 48, he became famous for his role as Jerry Ledbetter in the sitcom The Good Life, a polite, somewhat arrogant neighbor who was always at odds with the Tom Good family. The role made him one of the most familiar faces on British television in the mid-1970s. Behind his calm and humorous exterior, Eddington's life was shrouded in quiet sadness. His first marriage ended in turmoil when he divorced Patricia Scott, the mother of his 3 children, a separation that left him deeply distressed. His life became increasingly tragic as the disease tormented him day by day, although he tried to maintain his career and public image to avoid worrying his fans. Paul Eddington died in Southwark, London, on 4 November 1995, aged 68, from complications of mycosis fungoides, a rare and dangerous form of cutaneous lymphoma. He left behind an estimated net worth of $2 million, accumulated through many years of tireless work in the theater and television industry, notably through his roles in The Good Life and the political comedies Yes, Minister, and Yes, Prime Minister. His artistic and personal legacy lives on in the hearts of audiences across the UK. Richard Briers as Tom Good. Richard David Briers was born on January 14, 1934, in Merton, Surrey, England. At the age of 41, he took on the role of Tom Good in the sitcom The Good Life, a man determined to abandon modern life and build a challenging, independent lifestyle with his wife. This role not only brought him fame, but also left a deep impression on the audience because of his simple yet steadfast personality. Despite his successful career, Briers' private life experienced many difficulties, especially in terms of marriage and health. He married Anne Davies, his partner for more than half a century, and they had 2 daughters together. However, years of heavy smoking had led to severe emphysema, which took a toll on his health and became a major physical and psychological challenge in his later years. The pain was compounded by the death of his wife of 56 years just a few months earlier, which plunged Briers into a deep depression. However, he continued to work to warn the public about the dangers of smoking. Over nearly 50 years of dedication to the arts, he amassed an estimated net worth of $5 million, leaving behind a lasting legacy through television, stage, and animation voiceovers. Richard Briers died on February 17, 2013, at his home in London, at the age of 79. His solemn funeral at St. Michael and All Angels Church in Chiswick was a moment for friends, colleagues, and fans to bid farewell to a dedicated artist, an icon of simplicity, humor, and resilience, who lives on in the memories and hearts of many generations. Reginald Marsh as Sir Andrew. Reginald Albert Salt Marsh, also known as Reginald Marsh, was born on September 17, 1926, in London, England. At the age of 49, he played the role of Sir Andrew, a stern boss, in the comedy The Good Life, 1975 to 1978, helping to portray a typical businessman in the popular British television series. This role helped him establish himself as a reliable supporting actor on television in the 1970s. Behind his calm and professional exterior, Marsh's life has been marked by quiet pain and challenges. His first marriage ended in divorce, leaving him to raise 2 children alone before remarrying actress Rosemary Murray, with whom he had 4 more children. His burden was further compounded when one of his sons was born with Down syndrome, placing enormous responsibility and emotional pressure on his shoulders as a father. Life became more stressful and pressured as he faced the inevitable decline of his health with advancing age, but he quietly shouldered the burden to keep the family together. In his old age, Marsh moved to the Isle of Wight to rest, but he could not escape the harsh realities of old age and illness. The peace of retirement was suddenly shattered when he suffered a stroke, throwing his peaceful life into chaos. Family, friends, and colleagues were shocked by his sudden passing, leaving a void that could never be filled. Reginald Marsh died at his home in Ryde, Isle of Wight, on 9th of February 2001, aged 74. The cause was a stroke, a huge shock to his family and the entertainment community. His net worth is estimated at $800,000, amassed over more than half a century of supporting roles in British television series, including Coronation Street and Doctor Who. Patricia Driscoll as Mrs. Dalby. Patricia Noel Driscoll was born on December 17, 1927, in Cork, Ireland. At the age of 50, she played Mrs. Dalby in The Good Life, 1977, a supporting character who helped to create a rich portrait of life and relationships in a small community. The role marked a turning point in her long and varied television career. Alongside her successful career, Patricia also experienced some traumatic events in her personal life. After migrating to England, she struggled to adapt to her new life and establish herself in the competitive entertainment industry. Family troubles were compounded by 2 failed marriages, most notably a divorce from actor Duncan Lamont. Raising 2 children on her own in such circumstances brought considerable financial and emotional stress. Towards the end of her life, Patricia lived in solitude, clinging to memories of the better days. In the public eye, she remained associated with notable television and film work, such as The Adventures of Robin Hood, in which she played Maid Marian, a children's comic, in 1955 and 1957, and appearances in Danger Man and Into the Labyrinth. However, behind the spotlight, she quietly retired from the screen, battling illness and the emotional void of old age, while maintaining her vitality and passion for art until the end of her life. Patricia Driscoll died in Kent on January 2, 2020, at the age of 92. Despite her advanced age, she passed away peacefully after a long battle with illness and loneliness. Her net worth is estimated at $1 million, amassed through a prolific acting career that included notable roles such as Maid Marian in The Adventures of Robin Hood and Mrs. Dalby in The Good Life. Her artistic legacy lives on in the hearts of her fans and in British television history. George Cole as Mr. Downes. George Edward Cole was born on April 22, 1925, in Tooting, London, England. At the age of 53, he appeared on The Good Life as Mr. Downes, a bank manager, in a 1978 episode. Although the role was quite small, it added a certain charm to the popular sitcom. However, the role he is most associated with is Arthur Daly in the series Minder, which aired from 1979 to 1994. George Cole's life was full of suffering and challenges. Born out of wedlock and abandoned as a child, he was adopted by actor Alistair Sim and his wife, who introduced him to the world of acting. However, his long-term gambling addiction cost him a significant amount of money, putting financial and emotional strain on his personal life. These difficulties, coupled with personal upheavals such as his divorce from his first wife, Eileen Moore, despite having 2 children, led to periods of stress and loneliness. His health declined with age, particularly due to heart problems that required repeated hospitalizations. He spent his final years living with his second wife, Penny Morell, and their 4 children in a house in Stoke Row, Oxfordshire. However, haunting memories of his past and persistent health problems continued to challenge him in his later years. George Cole died on 5 August 2015 at the Royal Berkshire Hospital in Reading, from pneumonia and sepsis, aged 90. His funeral was held at Reading Crematorium, attended by friends and colleagues, including his Minder co-star, Dennis Waterman, who paid tribute. His net worth is estimated at $5 million, amassed from a prolific acting career and property investments. Timothy Bateson, Jungvai Arthur Bailey. Timothy Dingwall Bateson was born on April 3, 1926, in London, England. At the age of 50, he appeared in the play The Good Life, 1976, as Arthur Bailey, bringing a touch of comic relief to the play. This was just a small highlight in a decades-long career that saw him work in various fields of stage, television, and film, captivating audiences with his refined performances and distinctive voice. Despite coming from an educated and well-off family, Bateson's life was not always smooth. He lived through World War II, witnessing the loss and turmoil of a generation. Later in life, failing health forced him to cut back on work, which cost him many acting opportunities. Despite his perseverance, his career was not without its share of financial worries and insecurities that many older performers face in the challenging entertainment industry. In 1953, he married actress Sheila Shand Gibbs, and the couple remained together for life, raising 3 children. Their enduring marriage paralleled his artistic journey, from roles such as appearing in the Doctor Who series The Ribose Operation, to voicing the creature in Harry Potter and The Order of the Phoenix. The unwavering support of his wife and children helped him overcome challenges in his career, especially when his health began to fail, allowing him to maintain his passion for performing. Timothy Bateson died in London on September 15, 2009, at the age of 83, after a period of failing health. His net worth is estimated at $500,000, amassed over decades of acting, stage work, and voice acting. He leaves behind a rich artistic legacy, remembered by colleagues and audiences as a dedicated artist who persevered through life's challenges to maintain his passion for his craft. Charmian May, as Mrs. Weaver, Charmian Rosemary May, was born on 16 June 1937 in Pembroke, Hampshire, England. In 1976, at the age of 39, she appeared in The Good Life in a role that was characterized by her distinctive charm, creating a special bond with British television audiences. Although not a top star, her presence always brings vitality and sophistication to the scenes she participates in. Few people know that behind the calm exterior, Charmian has gone through a challenging career journey. As a supporting actress in a fiercely competitive industry, she had to work tirelessly to prove her worth in every scene and every line. Each role, no matter how small, was the result of perseverance and an unwavering love of her craft, qualities that few can maintain over decades. She left her mark in works such as Keeping Up Appearances, The Upper Hand, Bridget Jones's Diary, The Worst Witch, and The Fall and Rise of Reginald Perrin. Although her personal life was never a subject of much press, Charmian devoted her heart to the stage and screen. She shone in the big theaters with plays like The Importance of Being Earnest, and gave brilliant performances in '84, Charing Cross Road, proving that her talents were not limited to the small screen. Charmian May died of cancer on 24 October 2002, aged 65. Her passing left a quiet but profound void in the hearts of her colleagues and fans. Her net worth is estimated at $500,000, a modest sum compared to many stars, but the result of a lifetime of dedication to the arts. For audiences, Charmian's legacy is not just in numbers, but in the moments she made them smile or cry on screen. Angela Thorne as Lady Georgette Truscott. Angela Margaret Leslie Thorne was born on January 25, 1939, in Karachi, Pakistan. At the age of 38, she appeared in the film The Good Life, 1977, as Lady Georgette Truscott, bringing elegance and sophistication to the character, leaving a lasting impression despite only appearing in one episode. This was also the peak of her television and stage career, just before she became nationally famous for her role as Marjorie Frobisher in the play To the Manor Born. Despite her successful career, Angela's personal life was marred by deep loss. She married actor Peter Penry Jones in 1967, and together they raised 2 sons. But tragedy struck in 2009 when Peter died after a long battle with heart disease, leaving her to raise their children alone and deal with the loss of her partner of more than 4 decades. His death left her deeply saddened, although she tried to maintain a strong public image. Angela continued to devote herself to her art, appearing in memorable productions such as The BFG, 1989, in which she voiced Queen Elizabeth II, as well as 3 Up, 2 Down, Midsummer Murders, Foyle's War, and Heartbeat. However, behind the bright lights of the stage were quiet evenings at her Battersea home, where she lived, surrounded by memories of her late husband and the roles that had defined her career. Every time she stepped on stage, she found solace. But when the curtain closed, the loneliness returned. Angela Thorne passed away peacefully at her home in Battersea on June 16, 2023, aged 84, after a long life dedicated to stage and screen. Her net worth is estimated at $2 million, largely due to her role as Marjorie Frobisher in the play To the Manor Born and her theatrical achievements. She leaves behind a rich artistic legacy and an image of a talented artist who remains strong in the face of loss and time. Penelope Keith as Margot Leadbetter, Penelope Ann Constance. Keith was born on April 2nd in Sutton, Surrey, England. At the age of 35, she transformed into Margot Leadbetter in the legendary sitcom The Good Life, 1975 to 1978, portraying a humorous, sophisticated, but witty lady who became a true icon of British television. The success of this role quickly made Penelope one of the most beloved actresses in the country, opening a brilliant new chapter in a career that spanned decades. Few people know that behind the elegance and charm of Margot Leadbetter is a life story that is not at all smooth. Her father left when she was a child, and Penelope's childhood was tumultuous, moving between Clacton-on-Sea and Clapham, with her mother as her sole source of support. Rejected by a prestigious drama school for being too tall, she enrolled at the Webber Douglas Academy while working nights in a hotel to make ends meet. Those lonely, stressful, and challenging years forged a steely determination in her and planted the seeds of a deep desire to prove her worth. Against all odds, Penelope continued to make her mark with major roles, including Audrey Forbes's Hamilton in To the Manor Born, a series that attracted more than 20 million viewers per episode, as well as the sitcoms Executive Stress, No Job for a Lady, and Next of Kin. In 1978, she married Rodney Timpson, a policeman who had worked as a bouncer at the Chichester Theatre, where she performed. A decade later, they adopted 2 brothers, creating the family home she never knew as a child. Amidst the bright spotlights and the applause of the audience, Penelope finds peaceful happiness in her garden and the laughter of her family. As of 2025, Penelope Keith is still a healthy 84 years old, living in Milford, Surrey, and continuing to participate in artistic and charitable activities. She has never publicly faced a serious health crisis, but she has lived a life full of ups and downs to maintain her place in the hearts of audiences. Her net worth is estimated at $8 million, built from her many classic stage and television roles, personal projects, and the cultural legacy she left behind in British entertainment. Tony Selby as Sam Anthony. Samuel Selby was born on 26 February 1938 in Lambeth, London, England. At the age of 37, he appeared in a supporting role in the sitcom The Good Life, 1975, at a time when television audiences knew him widely for his role as Corporal Percy Marsh in Get Some In. This role, along with numerous other television appearances in the 1970s, helped to establish Selby as a household name and launch a career that has spanned more than 7 decades. Born into a poor family in Lambeth, Selby's childhood was marked by cramped housing and his parents' struggles. He began amateur boxing before finding his fissure into acting, a path that was not easy as he had to overcome prejudice and lack of resources to find opportunities. Through perseverance, he made it to the West End and became a regular on screen. Although behind the scenes, there was the quiet sacrifice and loneliness of an artist who had devoted his life to his craft. Tony Selby left his mark with many memorable roles, from Sabalom Glitz in Doctor Who to captivating performances in Minder, EastEnders, and many other TV series. However, as his age and health declined, he gradually gave up acting and lived a quieter life. When the COVID-19 pandemic broke out, he became one of its victims, passing away suddenly without his family by his side to say goodbye. A heartbreaking end for an artist who had dedicated his life to his audience. Tony Selby passed away in Bayswater, London, on September 5, 2021, at the age of 83 due to complications from COVID-19. His passing has left a deep sadness in the hearts of his colleagues and fans everywhere. His net worth is estimated at $1 million, mainly from his roles in Doctor Who, Get Some In, and Minder. Even in his death, he is remembered as a multi-talented, kind-hearted actor who overcame adversity to live his art to the fullest. Noel Howlett as Mr. Wakely. Noel Howlett was born on December 22, 1902 in Maidstone, Kent, England. At the age of 74, he appeared in the film The Good Life, 1976, as Mr. Wakely, a slightly eccentric gardener, leaving a lasting impression with his charming and gentle sense of humor. This role was just a small part of a long career on stage, television, and film, portraying many quintessentially British characters. Howlett's life spanned the tumultuous events of the 20th century, including both world wars. These historical upheavals left a deep mark not only on his personal memories, but also on the way he portrayed characters. Entering the world of theater in the 1930s, he quickly proved his talent with countless roles, big and small, but behind that success were years of tireless dedication to the profession, often facing the harsh realities of acting and the pressure to make a living. He was especially loved by audiences for his role as the clumsy headmaster Maurice Cromwell in Please Sir, a classic 1970s television series, as well as memorable roles in The Avengers, Man in a Suitcase, and the film The Winslow Boy, 1948. Though never an A-list star, Howlett remained a firm fixture in the hearts of audiences with his dedication, easygoing personality, and down-to-earth acting style, helping to shape his vibrant supporting roles on screen. Noel Howlett died on October 26, 1984, at the age of 81, ending a career that spanned more than half a century. His net worth was estimated at $200,000, largely from supporting roles in television and theater. He is remembered as a veteran performer who lived through both the war and the golden age of British television, leaving a modest but significant legacy. Moira Fraser as Felicity. Moira Fraser was born on December 3, 1923, in Sydney, Australia, into a wealthy family. But her career was shaped on the other side of the world. In 1924, her family emigrated to England, and as a teenager, she won a scholarship to the Sadler's Wells Ballet. From there, Moira entered the performing arts world with a burning passion, starting with classic ballet roles such as Giselle and The Sleeping Princess, before moving to the stage and performing musicals. As well as being a talented dancer, Moira also proved her acting chops in major plays such as The Country Wife and As You Like It. During the 1960s and 1970s, she was a familiar face on the London stage, most notably with her impressive performance in No Sex Please Were British, which ran for 4 years. Her elegance, poise, and theatricality became her trademarks, helping her transition smoothly to screen acting. Her television breakthrough came with an appearance in The Good Life, 1975, at the age of 52, followed by lasting fame as Penny in As Time Goes By, 1993 to 2005, a character who combined humor with understated charm. Alongside her busy career, Moira has been married 3 times, including a stint with writer Douglas Sutherland, the father of her daughter, and then to playwright Roger Lubbock, with whom she had 2 sons. Despite the fierce competition of the entertainment industry, Moira Fraser found happiness and stability in her family life. In her later years, Moira Fraser struggled with Alzheimer's disease, which slowly and painfully destroyed her health, leaving her loved ones devastated. She passed away on December 13, 2009, at the age of 86, leaving behind a legacy spanning ballet, theater, film, and television. Her net worth is estimated at $700,000, but her true worth lies in her memorable performances that are still loved by audiences to this day.